The Utah Mammoth is sorta proud to present NASHCAST.
What the is a NASHCAST?
NASHCAST, the only hockey show on the planet. Hosted by a human speed bag, fourth line wannabe, healthy scratch, schnozzy moto, Tyson Nash.
Who the hell is Tyson Nash?
Never heard of him.
NASHCAST begins now.
Ready for takeoff.
Here's Tyler Ganoush. Wait, what? Oh. Here's Tyson Nash.
Feeling good. Holy, did we have a show for you guys? I cannot wait for you guys to watch this one. Tons of news around the league. Hockey is just starting to heat up. I am solo. I apologize. Mike Fulta, my co-host, who normally does these hits with me, he is grinding. He is busy. He is in the heat of it. He is in the depths of it right now with the Utah Mammoths, fighting literally for their playoff lives. It's been a little bit of a rough stretch, I will say, but that's okay. When you put yourself in a really good spot, you can afford to lose some games. Not too many games, but you can afford to lose some games. So lots of good news around the league. We know that. Nick Schmaltz just came out. Ryan and Ashley Smith just signed him to an 8-year contract. 8 times 8. I think that's a perfect number. I talked to Ryan Smith not too long ago at one of the Jazz games, and he was super pumped. Super pumped to get my input, what I thought about the deal. And now I think the biggest thing for me is not only is that a great deal because you cannot afford to have the Utah Mammoths and Clayton Keller without his partner in crime. You can't have him without Robin. And that's exactly what Nick Schmaltz is. He is Robin. It is Batman and Robin when Clayton Keller and Nick Schmaltz are on the ice together. I think we know that. We've seen that. I have seen it forever since they first put them together as a centerman, as a winger, or as two wingers with Barrett Hayton in the middle. It doesn't seem to matter with these two. They just have that chemistry you can't recreate. So I think that was a big issue for Ryan Smith was like, we can't get rid of Nick Schmaltz because it's going to affect Clayton Keller, right? And he's not wrong. And I think the other big thing for me with that deal is that I thought that was a lot of money and a lot of term because he is 30 years old. And we all know that Dylan Gunther and Logan Cooley and TJ Ginla, this is going to be their team in 2 to 3 years. But Nick Schmaltz, the way he skates, the way he takes care of himself, how he wants to win, on top of the Keller aspect, I think the biggest thing for me is that the cap is going up. The cap is supposedly going up $30 million in the next 3 years. So $8 million isn't really $8 million. It's really like $5 million. So for me, that is an absolute bargain. If you're getting Nick Schmaltz 60, 70, 80, 90 points, I don't even know where this guy can go. That's where the ceiling is for Nick Schmaltz. He's having a career year this year, contract year as well, so I don't get too excited about that. I want to see consistency in those numbers that he's putting up this year, and I think he is. He's capable of it, and confidence is everything in the National Hockey League. So I think that's a huge deal for the Utah Mammoth moving forward. Confidence for them to make this playoff push. So I guess we'll start there, and that is huge. Karel Vejmelka, how's everyone liking his new bucket, his new helmet? Goalies have personality, and I love the fact that Karel Vejmelka shows his personality with his equipment, with his pads. He looks so good, and now with that bucket of his, I think that's just next level. I think the other big talk around the league right now is Austin Matthews, a guy I know super well. I kind of spent a lot of time with him in Arizona where he was raised. That's where he played his minor hockey. That's where he kind of grew up, right? And this guy was just taken out by Gudis the other night, which I still cannot believe. And I wish I had Fultz here because we would go back and forth on this. I still cannot believe, and this is the Toronto Maple Leafs in a nutshell. I'm sorry. Your captain, Team USA's captain, gold medal. He gets hit. One of the worst hits I've seen in a long time. It was an intent to a certain degree. I love Gudas. I think he's an absolute savage. He plays on the edge. He plays physical. He's old school, cut from the old school cloth. Guys like Rich Pilon, Kasperitis, Rob Blake, they went for the big hits because that's how they were impactful. That was a big part of their game. You had to have your head on a swivel when you played against those guys. Gudas is no different. But that hit, 5-game suspension, I don't think it was enough. But more importantly, forget the suspension. Where the hell are the Toronto Maple Leafs? Where the hell are Austin Matthews' teammates? Why is no one jumping in there and pounding the absolute wheels off of Gudas? Like, Gudas is tough-ish. He's not even tough. But you better show team toughness. Like, that is hockey. That's hockey, baby. And if you're not doing it, that's an embarrassment. That shows me the character of the Toronto Maple Leafs. That shows me the leadership group. I don't care who you are. If you're Nylander, I'm going out there and I'm jumping Gudas. I'm clotheslining him. I'm cross-checking him in the mouth. I don't care. You just took out my captain. I'm going after you. I'm sorry. So that's the message that the Leafs sent around the league, that you can go after our best players and no one's going to do shit about it. Don't like it at all whatsoever. Again, I want to go back to Mackenzie Weir. I'm in Detroit. I'm calling the Calgary Flames game tomorrow night, which we are Sunday right now as we're taping this. Calgary is lost without Weir. So that tells you how important he's going to be, not only this year for the playoff run, for the Mammoths, his leadership, his playmaking ability, first pass out of the zone, all the things that Bill Armstrong wanted and needs in a defenseman in order to get that puck up the ice, into the hands of guys like Keller, Logan Cooley, Dylan Gunther. I mean, he is just going to make those guys that much better, right? It's automatic. So Weir is missed in Calgary. So that not only does Calgary lose Weir, they lose Anderson and they lose Kadri as well. So they are depleted. I'm going out with the coach tonight for a cocktail or 10 for me. I'm going to pick his brain. I want to know what's going on in Calgary right now. I want to know all about Mackenzie Weir, what this guy is capable of, what his bar is, what he's going to bring to the table from a guy in Ryan Huska who coached him for a while now. So can't wait for that. Logan Cooley, standing ovation back in Pittsburgh, where it all started for him. Learned to play, Sidney Crosby, all the things. And Logan Cooley, how good and how blessed and how lucky are we, right, to watch this guy in Utah for the Mammoths, night in and night out. He brings you to the edge of his seat. The way he skates, his jersey flapping in the breeze. This guy is going to be one of the best Americans to ever do it. And it happened in Pittsburgh. So first class Pittsburgh for the standing ovation for a local kid who we are so happy to have. So from there, I don't know. Let's get into it. We also have Mackenzie Hughes. A big thank you to him. Part of the Canadian golf, I guess, Mike Weir, who I played with yesterday also. So not only was he a guest on my show, Mike Weir, he was a co-host as well. And he brought in Mackenzie Hughes, who, what a personality for golf. I wasn't sure what to expect. These guys are so buttoned up. They're so serious. He let it fly. Let it fly in the podcast. Told some great stories, some great golf tips for all you high handicappers out there, which I am one of them. But I also played with the Green Jacket winner, 2003, Mike Weir. It was a ton of fun just to watch a pro hit the golf ball like that. Mr. Consistency. It's almost boring. You're like, what is going on, Weirzy? He's 150 yards out from the green. That thing is 6 feet from the pin every time. The putt's in. It's automatic. It was so fun, so special to watch. So anyway, thank you to you guys. I hope you guys enjoy this interview with Mackenzie Hughes. He's a stud. All about golf. And weather is turning in Salt Lake. It's getting warm, folks. So the golf clubs will be out. Hopefully not for the Utah Mammoth, because they are playoff bound, baby. They are playoff bound. I hope you guys enjoyed the interview. Lots going on around the NHL. Best league in the world. So I hope you guys enjoyed this interview. Thanks, guys. We're back with your boy.
Yeah.
Your boy, Mackenzie Hughes from Hamilton, Ontario. Went to Kent State University. Won the 2011-2012 Canadian Amateur. Was ranked #1 Canadian Amateur in 2011. This guy can swing it. Turned pro, immediately won a PGA Tour event of Canada. Order of Merit. This guy has literally done it all, but he's an avid, heartbroken fan. Toronto Maple Leaf, Toronto Blue Jays.
Right.
This poor guy needs a hug. Mac, how you doing? Oh my goodness, what's going on? You just finished a tour event. Congratulations.
Yeah, solid week.
Yeah, thanks, boys. Well, and I'm also I'm reeling from Team Canada's loss last week too, so I'm really down in the dumps actually. So no, it's yeah, great to be with you boys and fired up.
What's going on in Canada? Where's he? Mac, what's going on? The women lost, the men lost, the Blue Jays lost, the Edmonton Oilers lost, not once but twice. What is going on up in Canada and the water you guys are drinking up there?
You know, I feel like with the ladies, you know, I think that U.S. team was pretty young, pretty hungry, and you know, I feel the Canadian girls were on the older side, and just met a really great team on the U.S. side, and but the men's game, I mean, gosh, we just dominated that game. I mean, the second and third periods were just all Canada, and I thought, we just got to put a puck in the net, because if this thing goes to overtime, I just didn't like the 3-on-3, and lo and behold, we lost it. But it was such a good game, and it was super exciting to watch. But obviously, heartbroken for the guys and for Sid to lose that way.
Yeah, the first period, Mac, we had Jeremy Roenick on the first period. That's what he opened with. He's like, Weirzy, thanks for giving us one. He was just like all up and just, you know, so proud of his team, which is great. But yeah, I've been hearing it.
Yeah.
You know, as you know, living in the States here, we've been hearing it a lot.
Oh yeah,
the
but
last
hey,
week.
every 46 years we give them one, right, Mac?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, a lot of chirping from the guys here on tour this week too. A lot of like,
I bet.
you know, basically you guys, this is all you guys have, and we just took it from you. And I'm like, all right, settle down, boys. I mean, you guys win 1 in 46 years. You got to just settle down a little bit there. So, but they're pretty excited. But yeah, we'll let them have one, and we'll be back in 4 years to take it back.
You're a Toronto Maple Leafs fan. I know that. There hasn't been a lot to cheer about in an awfully long time. But Austin Matthews, you have to be happy for him. You're Canadian. You weren't upset, were you, with how he partied, how he celebrated Miami?
No.
They blew the roof off that bar. I mean, you had to have loved it. I know you did.
Yeah, I think that's all getting blown out of proportion. I feel like he deserved to celebrate that one. I mean, he's
No doubt.
he's taken a lot of abuse in Toronto, I feel like, and not all of it is very fair at times. And you know, you win a gold medal with your teammates and your country. I mean, I feel like you've earned the right to go celebrate for a little while. And you know, they went to the White House, they partied, and I feel like that was his right to go do that. And I think anyone on his team would be fully supportive of that as well. And now back to the task at hand. I feel like the Leafs are they're in trouble. Things do not look good. We have an uphill battle to climb. You come off the Olympic break and you lose 3 in a row, and really haven't even been close. Doesn't look good for the boys.
Yeah, I mean, it's I grew up as a Red Wing guy living on the border in Michigan, and but I follow the Leafs, you know, and it's just like sometimes, you know, these cycles, and you gotta retool, rebuild. We were talking about, you know, when you're a GM and an owner of a team and looking at those pieces of the puzzle to try to put together, and it looks like Toronto's probably in that place to kind of start looking to what are we going to do here for the future.
Yeah, and Mac, I don't want to talk too much about Toronto, but I mean, I played there. I got sent down. I thought I was going to the Maple Leafs. I was so heartbroken because I would have gave anything to play for the
Yeah.
Toronto Maple Leafs. As a Canadian, I grew up in Edmonton, more so the Edmonton
Yeah.
Oilers, but it was Toronto. But what's going on in that city? I mean, the fans, all of it, right? It kind of goes to the players' heads, right? A little bit. Like, you walk in there and these guys, they literally think they are like gods, right? Because of the fan attention and the media attention they get. It's a hard
Yeah.
place to play, don't you think?
Yeah, I think you know, for that core group of guys, now Marner's gone, but you look at Nylander, Tavares, Matthews, they've had to answer those questions for the last 5, 6, 7 years of, you know, what are they going to have to do to get over the hump? You know, what's going to, you know, when are they going to make that next jump? And I think that's tough to deal with every day, and to, you know, to lose and answer those questions every night. So I feel like, yeah, it is a tough place to play. The spotlight is on. I feel like in Toronto, it's you know, it's basically, you know, you win or you don't. And it's like, you know, we're trying to win a cup in Toronto, and we haven't really even been close. And so I feel like, you know, for those guys, you know, I sympathize, because I'm a professional athlete. I understand how hard sport can be. I mean, it is not just hey, we're skilled and we're talented, we're going to win. I mean, it takes hard work, it takes discipline, it takes a team effort, and sometimes all the pieces aren't in place. And I don't know what's going on behind the scenes. I feel for the guys. You know, I wish they could bring a cup to Toronto, but you know, it's kind of to Weirdy's point. Like, it might be time to look to the future and you know, figure out what pieces they need to kind of build back and make a run here in the next you know, 4 or 5 years. But they seem like they're pretty far away right now.
Yeah. Well, switch gears. I want to talk to you about your game. You know, you had this week, you know, wasn't a great start, but you rallied with a great round Friday, kind of coming into a you know, a key part of the season. You know, Augusta's around the corner, their Players Championship. What are you kind of working on in your game to kind of prepare for these bigger tournaments coming up?
Yeah, no, it was nice. It was a nice bounce back this week. I got off to a slow start on Thursday, and yeah, shooting 65 on this golf course on Friday in some tricky conditions was nice, and kind of validates a lot of stuff I am working on, which is you know, with Ralph, I've been working on really trying to create a bigger arsenal of shots to play. Not so much playing technique with my golf swing, but just you know, learning how to, you know, have more shots with my wedges, and, you know, more controlled 3/4, you know, controlling the spin shots with not only my short irons and wedges, but even like my, you know, mid irons, and you know, different tee balls that I'm working on. Like I'm working on some like flighted little, like, you know, 3/4, like, kind of just get the ball and play tee shots, like a little bit of a second serve. And then I actually this week put in a longer driver that's 46 inches, and I've been trying to kind of put some gas behind some of these tee shots and send it a little bit, which I feel like I have the speed to do that. And a few times this week, you know, got up in the mid 180s with my ball speed, and
that's great.
kind of trying to push that a little bit, because I'm playing a mini driver at the moment, and I feel like it kind of gives me like a second option if I wasn't comfortable on the tee. So I've got a driver I can hit kind of a little bit further, and I've got a mini driver to play with for a bit more control. But yeah, I guess the biggest thing right now is I'm working on the versatility of my golf game, and not just having like, you know, one shot to hit, but like, you know, if I got a 9-iron, I've got, you know, 3, 4 different types of varieties of golf shots to hit. So that's been great. And obviously playing in the wind this week, like, I mean, as you know, like when you play in the wind, you kind of want to just like take the variables out of play, right? You want to take the, you know, the big full shot, the one that has a lot of spin, kind of out of play, and hit a shot that, you know, hey, I can kind of 3/4 this 8-iron, and I'm going to kind of take that variable out of play, and I'm going to control the spin, I'm going to control the flight, and not let the wind do that. And so I feel like that's been kind of what I've been working on, and I saw some great signs this week, which was awesome.
Yeah, that's great.
Don't bill me. Don't send me a bill for this, but I want some advice. I'm sure every pigeon golfer out there, we got a lot of golf fans watching this show right now, but what advice would you give to a high handicapper to bring it down, to take some strokes off their game?
Gosh.
That's a broad
tough.
question
That's
there,
tough.
Tyson.
I know.
That's a broad
Yeah,
question.
I know. Without knowing what that person's game is like, I think that a lot of times, and when I played pro-ams, I watched a lot of people, compound mistakes. So, they miss the green and they're short-sighted and they're trying to hit a perfect shot, but they don't have great touch to begin with. So they're trying to hit a shot that
I got
would
hands
be
like
tough
feet, I've been told.
yeah, it would be tough for a tour player to hit, and let alone they're trying to hit this like really cute, perfect shot, and then they leave it in the rough. They chip it on past the hole, the 2-putt, maybe they 3-putt, but they're making a mess from a spot where they like should just basically make sure they chip it on the green. So you're short-sided. Even if you chip it to 20 or 25 feet and 2-putt, you're probably doing better more times than you would if you again, you leave that ball in the rough one time on a chip. So that's kind of the stuff I see a lot of times is just like, again, kind of knowing your game, knowing your strengths, and trying to kind of reduce the extra mistakes. I feel like it's like, hey, I made one mistake, let's not make 2 in a row. So I feel like that. I mean, again, that's a pretty general kind of blanket tip for somebody, but again, just you're in the trees, get the ball back in play. Don't try and be a hero. I see a lot of that too. Like, oh, I'm gonna try and find this little hole through the trees. It's like,
Yeah.
You might pull that off like 1 out of every 50, but this one time is probably not going to be this time. So don't try it.
Yeah.
So, I feel like that's kind of like a simple way to kind of save like 3 or 4 shots in a round where it's like, you just kind of made a bad choice, got a little bit too greedy, and compound your mistakes. So, I don't know. What do you think? Where's how are you going to help someone that's?
I think that's good advice.
Yeah.
I always see amateurs.
Yeah.
They always underclub too. They think they hit it further than what they do. Right? Like
Yeah.
I think they.
Why are you looking at me when you say that?
I've heard about it. I've heard, but this is just a rumor.
How about the Vaseline? Because I know that helps me.
Yeah.
Do you just put the chapstick on the driver
spin
head?
off.
Yeah.
But more
I
amateurs
feel like
come up short. They come short all the time. They're
an amateur hits a 7-iron 150 one time, and they think, well, I hit a 7-iron 150. Well, no, it goes like 135. You hit a 150 once, but like it goes like 135, 140 on average. And I think like a lot of people, like you said, kind of give themselves too much credit for how far they hit it.
Yeah. Yep.
So the connection. What's the connection with you guys? I mean,
I think, well, for me, I mean, I've known Max since, he was coming up the ranks and following his career, amateur career. And we have a bond. The Canadian players have a bond. There's not a ton of us players. And so I got to know Mac when he was playing. The Corn Ferry came out and played here in Utah at Willow Creek, just down the road, and followed his career. And I've just always loved Mac's competitive spirit. And, he wants to win. He wants to get better. And as all the Canadian players do. But, I wanted to ask you, Mac, with last year, the President's Cup, we're watching the hockey game here, and being a team sport, we're individual athletes, and then we get thrown into this one thing every couple of years. The President's Cup kind of comes around for us Canadian guys. And what was the experience like for you to be on a team with 11 other guys and trying to be a little bit more selfless, and you're not, just all about you kind of thing?
Yeah. That was by far the greatest experience I've had in golf. I would do that every year if I could. The fact that there's another one coming up this year, I'm very eager to be back on that team. But just it's so incredible to be with a group like that and have a common goal. And like you said, Weirzy, like, we're on this path as individuals and as golfers that usually leaves you in isolation a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can probably picture a lot of times when you're at home in your basement and you're grinding, down your golf area, and it's just you, your thoughts, and, how do you get better? Well, when you're with a team that week, it's like, how do we achieve our goal? Like, what do we have to do as individuals, and how do we come together as a team to make this happen? And I just think that, like, that part of it is so fun, like to have captains and to have, stats people with us, and to have our trainers, and to have everyone working together to achieve that goal. It's just so cool because we don't get to do it very often. And obviously, Mike, you got to do it I don't know, how many times did you play? 4 or 5?
5 times, yeah.
Wow, no big
5
deal.
times. Yeah. So that's pretty elite. And I know you were part of a great one down in South Africa when you guys ended up in a tie. You know, and I do firmly believe that, you know, we will win one of these sooner or later. I believe that, you know, I know when we were in Montreal, it was so close, and there was just a couple of moments where, yeah, it didn't go our way, but it was razor thin Saturday afternoon where, I mean, we almost could have been tied going into Sunday, and a couple of matches don't go our way at the end. And I mean, I know that, you know, we as players and you as captains, I mean, we know how close it is, but you know, on the outside, yeah, we've been getting beat a lot, but that is really the best week of the year for me. I think a lot of guys feel the same way. I know you probably have similar feelings. It's just it's so cool to be in a room with, like, you know, Adam Scott and J Day and Hideki and these guys, and, you know, being right alongside them and having the same goal. So I mean, and honestly, like, you know, you picking me for that team, obviously I didn't qualify, you know, on points, but you picking me for that team, you know, was just one of the most incredible phone calls I've ever received. And yeah, like I said, that was a complete highlight of my golf career. So yeah, team stuff for golfers, super exciting and super fun.
Yeah, for me too. When I remember my career, and I think look back, a lot of my fond memories are from the team, from President's Cup, not really the individual stuff as much. I mean, just the camaraderie, the bonds you have with the other players, kind of like the hockey guys, right? Yeah. So we get to do that. And I got to ask you, so day one, you come onto the first tee, beer in hand. Did that just kind of happen organically? What was your thoughts there on that?
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, it was kind of like,
Gotta get the levels dialed, right?
Yeah, nice Stella.
Yeah. It was tough because I didn't really know what to do. I was like, oh, I'm not playing. So I was like, I have all this time. I'm like, how can I, like, be of any kind of help to the team? You know, I'm like, what could I do to, you know, get the crowd going or do something? And I thought, you know what, like, hand me a beer. I think it was Bussy. I was talking to Bussy about it. He's like, hell yeah, that'd be a great idea. Let's do that. And so I just kind of thought about it, like, before the golfers were going out for, like, the first few matches. And I was like, yeah, this is going to be, you know, this could go bad, but this could go great too. And again, just like, I don't know, just like, nuts. Yeah, just get some energy going early. And, you know, like, I mean, and Weirzy can attest to this. Like, when we had the energy going Friday, and I feel like when you get the crowd going behind you, it's like you're riding a wave. I mean, you feel like they're, like, pushing you forward, and you're, like, playing with, like, an additional, like, club or additional teammate, because it's just, the energy is so contagious. And so I feel like, you know, my job the first day was just like, hey, can I provide some kind of energy, some kind of spark? And you know, yeah. So that was the kind of the motive behind that, and it was good. It was
a cool moment. I was standing on the tee when he came out there, and
he was wearing half of it. You got to drink it, right? Not wear it.
Yeah. Well, you know, actually, it was a tall boy, and I was like, man, I can't crush this whole thing right now. We're gonna be here for like 15 seconds. So I was like, I got like halfway through it, and I just started dumping on my head. I'm like, all right, this is good.
I love it. So.
It was a lot.
Weirzy talked about you. What about Weirzy? I mean, he must have had a massive impact. Winning the Green Jacket, 2003, Canadian golfer. I mean, I grew up idolizing this guy myself, but for you, he must have a big impact in your career.
No doubt. You know, I think, you know, Weirzy kind of alluded to the Canadian crew on tour right now, and you know, obviously there's a lot of different factors at play, but all of us, you know, watched Mike win the Masters, and you know, he gave us the belief that, you know, we could do it too. And again, none of us have achieved you know, his level yet. You know, Mike is the bar for Canadian men's golf, but we're all striving to be the next Mike Weir, and you know, he inspired this generation that's out here right now. I mean, Adam Hadwin, Nick Taylor, Corey Connors, Taylor Pendrith, myself. I mean, we're all trying to emulate and be like Mike. And yeah, I mean, again, we're all kind of like, it's a brotherhood amongst the Canadian players, and with Mike, and Mike's been obviously a great mentor for not just me, but for the other guys as well. And I feel like Mike's someone that I can always, reach out to with a question or ask for advice, and he's always been very generous with that. And just to be able to have someone like that to be able to lean on, to be able to pick his brain. He's a guy who's literally done everything in golf. So invaluable. And then, I mean, you fast forward to like the week I got to spend with him as my captain at the President's Cup. It was like my dreams never really got that far, and it was a bit of a fairy tale, honestly. Bit of a pinch me moment, and yeah, just to be able to call him a friend, be able to be alongside him for some pretty cool moments. It's been awesome. And like I said, he's still the benchmark. He still, inspires us to I mean, I think, what do you have, eight wins, Mike, in the
do,
Masters? Yep. Is that 8? Yeah. So, like, I mean, Mike is still, again,
he's been telling me that all night.
The gold standard. Yeah. I mean, he's, yeah, I know that sounds like Mike,
Oh,
pretty,
yeah.
Yeah.
So cocky.
No, but yeah. But no, he is the standard for us, and we're all trying to strive for his level of excellence. And I mean, he's just a guy that so many times throughout his career, yeah, he had his highs, but I mean, he had lows, and he always kept coming back. I mean, he always was resilient, and he didn't just show us how to win the Masters. He showed us how to fight through some of the lows, and to be resilient, and to be tough. And I think that's probably one of his his strongest attributes, is he's just tough as nails. So that's how you win the Masters.
He made me wear his green jacket tonight, by the way, Mac. I mean, he brought it from home.
We had to stretch it out a bit.
Out of the trophy case. But
looks good. It looks good on you.
I know. But like, when you win something like that, kind of like, and listen, I know we were upset as Canadians because we didn't win, but Team USA and what they did and what they're doing for hockey by winning, I mean, the story, the Gaudreau, all of that, you couldn't help but just, it was meant to be, right? And that had to resonate. And obviously, that's going to transfer over to the women, to all these young kids getting into hockey, and much like you guys getting into golf.
Yeah. I thought like you said, the U.S. side, as much as it is disappointing for us as Canadians, it inspired the next wave of U.S. hockey players, which is a cool thing, And then, like you said, the Gaudreau thing, how can you not feel sentimental and emotional about something like that? So, yeah, there was tons of really cool things that come from that, and like you said, I mean, it stinks, but you're happy for them as well. I mean, it's a really cool moment for their nation and for their hockey, and like that picture right there of Gaudreau's jersey. I mean,
yeah, it's cool.
That's one of the most heartbreaking things that's happened in hockey in the last little while, and for them to be able to kind of celebrate him and celebrate with their family, that's really cool.
Yep.
Well, instead of I think it was I don't know if this story is true, but instead of a babysitter, your parents, they brought you to the golf course, to the driving range. Is that kind of how it started for you back in the day? Is that a true story?
Yeah, no, for sure. I was 7 years old, and my parents were just getting started with golf and kind of trying it out on their own. And it could have been a babysitter, but ended up going to the golf course. And then from there, just loved really everything about golf and what it asked of you, and just got hooked. I mean, it was really love at first sight. And from there, I still played other sports, but golf quickly became what I love the most. And so yeah, really cool to have started like that with my parents, and owe them a lot for sure.
Yeah. Herbie, we were just showing the graphic there of you at Kent State, but there was a pipeline of Canadians going down to Kent State. You were there with Corey and Taylor. Were you guys all there Overlapped some years, right?
Yeah, we overlapped 2 years. So I actually had I was a junior when those guys came in. They were freshmen, and then as a senior, they were still there as sophomores. And so,
Yeah.
and we actually had the best finish. Best finish in school history in the NCAA's my senior year with all three of us on the team. So
Yeah.
that was really, really cool. And, I'm not sure how many guys from BYU when you played like went on to play, but like it was pretty cool that, three of us as teammates, Canadians, and, grew up fairly close together, all eventually made it to the PGA Tour together.
Yeah, really cool.
That doesn't happen a lot. And, like to share it with them and to have, that camaraderie with them out here on tour it is really cool. I mean, I know, Mike, when you played, I mean, it was you and Steven. I mean, and, I think, without you and, and then Steven as well, but without you winning the Masters, I mean, there's no way there's 7 or 8 guys out here right now. And it's just cool for us because like we play, Tuesday practice rounds just about every week, and there's 3 or 4 of us, and it's like we have good, Canadian games, and it's just a lot of fun to be with those guys and to kind of share this journey with them, and we've all become really close over the years. So it's been a lot of fun. I still really enjoy doing it. It's obviously a game that's getting younger and younger, so I'm trying to keep up and stay healthy and keep up with the young guys. But it's been a lot of fun.
Well, you were young when you first made it. You're 22, I
That's
believe.
right.
I mean, I was still wet in the bed. I got a 22-year-old son, and you're playing on the PGA Tour against guys like Tiger Woods. I mean, how intimidating was that?
Well, I mean, you got a good guy to ask right next to you too, because he actually took him down. But I've played with Tiger twice on tour and stroke play, and I'm sure Mike would say the same thing. But like when you're in that arena with Tiger, and the one time it was the Players, and I'll tell you this story because the Players, I played with him alone on a Saturday, just the two of us, and he was 8 under through 12, and
is that good?
I thought the place was going to burn. I thought the place was going to burn to the ground. I mean, and this is back in 2018. He was still playing great. He was kind of coming back, and I mean, I've never been part of something like that so crazy as far as like just a golf atmosphere. Like I mean, and like the noise and the roars that were happening. I mean, like the hair on the back of my neck was standing up when I was walking from green to tee, because it was like you're just getting like just people on both sides just yelling at you and screaming, and it was just, I'm like, he's done this for 25 years. I mean, this is what he's lived with for 25. I'm like, how? I mean, but I mean, I'm sure you can attest to this too, Mike, where it's like, when he's playing great, the advantage that he has is like, you're riding that wave of a momentum and that energy. Well, what was it like when you guys played in Montreal? What was that like? I mean, I can't even imagine what that would have been like.
I had that. Yeah, it was great because I had the wave of emotions, like you said, with the crowd behind me. Where other times I'd played with them, and it's like your experience at the Players Championship, where everybody's there to watch him. So when you're trying to set up over a shot, everybody's running and trying to get in position to watch him again. And
40 yards up.
Yeah, exactly. Me playing with him, he's 40 yards ahead of me. So that was always a challenge. But in Montreal, the crowd was behind me, and that was a totally different experience and great experience to be able to share that.
Was your first time with him? Was the PGA in '99?
Yeah, the first time I played with him was earlier that summer at Cog Hill we used to be the Western Open in Chicago, and we were in the final group, and I think he had a 3-shot lead starting the day on me, and I pulled within 1, and I think he ended up winning by 2, but I remember saying to myself that I think I can play with this guy, and then about a month later we were in the final round of a major. It was my second year on tour, and I wasn't prepared for that energy that Max said when he got some momentum and got ahead, and people got crazy and weren't paying attention, and I got flustered that PGA Sunday. started chasing some pins, started, and the round kind of got away from me. But learn from that, that you had to prepare differently playing with Tiger. You actually had to talk to the tour. You had to get your own security. You had to just to get yourself to the tee box, because there were so many people that you just get kind of crushed by the crowd. If he was 20 yards ahead of you and walking the tee, it might take you 3-4 minutes to get to the tee just to get through everybody if you didn't have secure. So little things like that I learned from that PGA Championship. Like, next time I'm in this position, this is what I have to do. And so it's just a little bit different playing with them. Yeah.
Oh, no doubt. It's a different animal for sure. I remember the second time I played with them, actually, this is a funny story. We're playing Torrey Pines, and we teed off 10, and I'm playing great. It's me, Tiger, and Scott Stallings. And I go out there and shoot 5 under on the back 9 at Torrey Pines South. Just playing awesome. And we're walking to 1 tee, and I'm up there. I'm playing great. So I walk straight to the first tee. I got the honor. I'm ready to kind of tee off, and Tiger walks up on the tee, as I'm kind of, I got my driver out, whatever, and he goes, "Hey, Max, Scott and I are going to play you best ball on the back 9." Like, kind of joke, kind of joking. And I'm like, but it kind of like got in my head. I was like, man, Tiger thinks I'm playing great, and I'm like, I think, like, I don't know if it was like intentional or not, but like I bogeyed 3 of the next 4 holes, and I was like, this guy
I got another one.
I'm like, this guy got in my kitchen a little bit, because I was just, again, it's kind of like when you have a no-hitter in baseball, you wouldn't talk to the guy, right? But like, I'm 5 under through 9, and like Tiger makes a little comment to me, and I'm just like, oh, like, yeah, I am playing pretty good. But like, I was just kind of doing my thing. Like, I was just in my own little world. Like Mike said, you're kind of trying to stay in your own lane because of all the chaos. And I was just like in a nice little rhythm, like, had the tee basically the whole time, which is actually kind of great when you're with Tiger, because you have the tee, everyone's going to stay in place for your shot because you're actually going first. So I was like, just feeling great. And he said that little comment, and I was just like, oh my God, like, he's just, he got me. I'm like, dang it.
What a game this is.
So,
some little thing can just throw you off. What a game.
I know.
So, like, I got to ask you guys, like, so that's how I made my living, right? I was a terrible hockey player, but I could chirp. I could get you off your game. I would hack you in the back of the legs. I would go after, not the bottom feeders, but I'd go after the star players. In golf. What can you guys do? There had to have been something that you guys would do. Maybe it was a look, maybe it was a smirk that you're like, oh, so tough luck on that one. Like, there had to have been some kind of secret. I know there's golf etiquette, but there had to have been something that you could have done.
I mean, for me, my thing was just really being totally zoned in on myself, and like,
You're too nice. You're way too nice.
Well, I don't know.
There's got to be a.
That's like me too. It wouldn't be like I'm trying to like dictate somebody else. It'd just be like, I'm just trying to like be in my own little bubble and do my own thing, and I'm gonna beat you by being good, like, with my own stuff, like. And it's not maybe a fun answer, but there's really not like, in golf, there's just really not gamesmanship or like chirping.
Is there a guy out there that does it?
No, there's I think old school guys might rattle some change in their pockets or do that.
Under their glove when you're putting. I do that trick all the time too. I'm like,
well, actually, it's funny. I saw one yesterday. I was watching the golf when I was done early, and I saw it was like Austin Smotherman was playing with one of the young Canadian kids, AJ Ewert.
Oh yeah.
And they're both on 18 fairway, and they look like their balls are side by side. I mean, I think both of them kind of thought it was the other guy. Like, I think it's you think it's me, who's away. Well, Austin Smotherman's caddy just kind of looks over them and goes, no, it's you. Like, well, they're going to learn from his shot because they want to see it, but they're basically just saying, hey, like, it's you, rookie, go ahead. Like, and like, as a rookie, you're not going to be like, no, I think you're just going to be, okay, yeah, like, you're just going to kind of fall in line and do it. So I feel like there's sometimes, like, with the elder players, a little bit of like, oh, like, who do you think's away? Oh, no, it's you. And like, as a young guy, you're going to be like, okay, yeah, I'm just going to go ahead because the guy said it's me.
Right.
And like that other guy might learn something from your shot, but he's just being like, hey, look, I've been around the block. You're
Yeah.
new. Go ahead, buddy.
And
You're
I
up.
saw that.
So
I saw that exact moment you're talking about. So he
Yeah,
buries
yeah.
one into the bunker. The other guy
Yeah.
puts one like
Oh, did
6
he?
feet from the pin.
Oh, he did.
Yeah,
No
yeah,
kidding.
yeah. So,
Suck on that,
I
rookie.
mean, I think there's some of that at play sometimes, and that's like, kind of subtle stuff. It's not like outwardly like calling someone a jackass or something like that, or
Yeah, there's not
it's some other
chirping,
kind
but-
of chirp.
yeah.
It's but like it's just a little subtle, like, hey, you're away, bud, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna learn something from your shot. So
Yeah.
you might see a bit of that, but like you said, Mike said, there's not really much of that in golf. We're pretty tame, pretty polite guys.
I think the ultimate like gamesmanship is like if you can show you're just so you got your shit together, so to speak,
Yeah.
so good
Yeah.
that nothing's gonna rattle you. That can rattle the other guy. Like nothing phases this guy. Like
Yeah.
if the other guys are looking at
Yeah.
you going, nothing phases this guy.
Right.
That sets off a tone that you don't even have to do anything. You're
Yeah.
just so unflappable.
Right.
Yeah, I think like yeah, like you said, Mike, I think that like when you're playing a guy, and let's say it's like final round, and it kind of becomes a two horse race, a bit head to head, and if the other guy sees you kind of like losing your head a little bit, and getting a bit frustrated and getting down on yourself, I feel you're giving that guy energy, and it's like little stuff like that, like you said, where it's like if you keep your stuff together, your attitude's great, you keep a good body posture, good body language, like the other guys
Makes a
know
difference.
you notice that, it makes a big difference. So yeah, it's a great point.
Yeah.
How do you guys fight against, like, when you're playing with a Tiger or when you're doing real well, you get up to the tee box, you want to swing it a little harder. How do you fight against that? There has to be moments when you're like, I want to let this one go. But your caddy's like, no, no, no.
Yeah, I mean, like for me, I never had that in my game, So it was just like there was just a process I went
Right.
through. So those urges to like hit it harder or anything like that was not, the game's changed so much since my era on the PGA Tour, where it is a power game and guys are trying to find speed, like Max said, and that's great. If you can do it and keep the control. So there's times that you want to be able to use that power, right, Mac, on certain holes.
Yeah, for sure. And I feel like for me, it's like because the game has changed, and I'm 35 years old, I feel like it's kind of my job to keep up and to stay strong, to stay fit, and to keep moving the ball as far as I can, because it's just getting younger and younger. And it's just advantageous to get the ball as close to the hole as you can. So it's like it has changed. I mean, when Mike Weir won the Masters, it's like I know you laid up on was it every par five
Most
or just
holes. I
par
went for
five?
13 a couple times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like you basically you relied on your wedge play, and you knew
Yeah.
like if I get a wedge in my hand, I'm probably going to make a birdie. If not, I'm going to have a really good chance. And
Yeah.
you just knew that was your game. And
Yeah.
there's probably more guys that were like that in your era that
Yeah.
knew, hey, I don't hit it as far as Tiger, but I can hit a wedge pretty good and I can putt pretty good. So I'm gonna rely on those strengths of my game. And there is still some of that in golf, and there's still some of those guys, but the young kids that come out now, they all hit it far, and they all
Yeah.
pound it whenever they can, on tight holes and wide open holes. They're hitting driver a lot. So
Yeah.
it's changed a lot.
Yeah.
Well, we can't thank you enough, Mac. I want to say congratulations on a great finish today. That was a solid showing for you. So impressive to watch. I watched you a little bit this weekend, but thank you for your time. As always, thanks for coming on the show.
Yeah, thanks, Mac. Yeah, looking forward to watching you the next few weeks with these big events coming up, and always pulling for you, buddy.
I appreciate it, boys. Thanks for having me on, and go Leafs.
There you go.
When are you coming to Utah, Mac?
I need to get to a game. I've heard it's awesome there. I need to get
Yeah.
to a game soon. I'm going to do it soon.
Yeah.
We
Right
know
on.
someone. We know a guy right here who's got
I got
season
some
tickets.
I got some tickets. You
Yeah.
can come use my
Yeah.
tickets.
The captain.
All right.
The
Love it.
captain. All right,
Love
buddy.
it.
All right.
Good luck, man.
Thanks, Mac.
See you, buddy.
Thanks, boys. Appreciate
buddy.
it. See you guys.
Cheers.
There you have it. Mackenzie Hughes, the guy's a stud. I told you, I don't lie. I can't afford to lie. Otherwise, this nose is going to continue to grow. And we do not want that. Trust me, folks. I also want to give a big shout out. I hope you guys enjoyed that interview, by the way. Golf tips, for all the high handicappers. You can't risk it, right? Play the simple game, folks. If you're a golfer, if you're an avid golfer, you want to take strokes off, make the simple play. Don't make the miracle shot. That's what Mackenzie Hughes said. That's what Mike Weir told me all day yesterday as we tape this. Don't think you're going to bend it around a tree. You blow it in the woods, punch it out, punch it onto the green, and make a putt. It's that simple, right? So that's the goal. I now know that. I heard that from two of the best golfers in Canadian history. So thank you guys. Anze Kopitar, I want to say congratulations to him, his last hurrah, his last lap around the league. He's getting the love and support that he deserves. This is going to be a big loss to the NHL. And I know we have so many great young kids coming up every day, every year. But Kopitar is a special, special human. He's going to have a statue outside the Staples Center. I don't know what they even call it today. It doesn't matter. But it'll always be the Staples Center to me. The Wayne Gretzky statue, the De La Hoya statue. There's a million the Dustin Brown statue as well. And Kopitar is going to be right there alongside all of those guys. Rightfully so. He is now the leading point getter in LA Kings history. And that is saying something, considering when you think of Kopitar, you don't really think of points, first of all. You think of defense. You think of winning faceoffs, all the details, all the things that it takes to win a Stanley Cup. That's what this guy is all about. That's what makes him so special. He plays against the other team's best players every night. And not only does he dominate them on the score sheet, points, plus, minus, all those things, he checks them off the score sheet. And that doesn't come around very often. You saw the Florida Panthers the last 2 years. They've won. Barkov is that guy, right? He is the new Kopitar. But nobody did it better than Kopitar. So, and you think of Wayne Gretzky, you think of Luc Robitaille, you think of all the studs that played in LA. He is on the top of the mountain for the LA Kings and their franchise. So congratulations to him. I also want to say to the Mammoth, let's frickin' go. All right, let's go. You're treading water. You're in quicksand right now. This is when you need Clayton Keller, newly signed Nick Schmaltz. Let's go, boys. We need you. This is when you rise, right? You faltered a little bit. The team's struggling, and you got some games coming up. You got the Edmonton Oilers. You have some tough games coming up. Road trips. You can take care of your own business, and that's the biggest thing, right? You got to take care of business. And you got the Anaheim Ducks, you have the LA Kings, you got the Edmonton Oilers, and these are massive games. So you win those, you take care of business, you secure yourself into the playoffs. You just keep taking care of business. You're all right. You'll get it done, right? It's that simple. So Utah Mammoth, let's go. I hope you guys enjoyed that podcast. Tons of fun. And we're coming back to Utah. Paul Bissonnette, Ryan Whitney is coming on the show as well, the creator of Pink Whitney. All you kids out there, we know you love that stuff. We got special announcements coming on Instagram. NASHCAST Official on Instagram, NASHCAST Official on YouTube, Spotify, TikTok. We even got TikTok running and rocking and rolling. So we have that, and we have Paul Bissonnette coming to Utah, to Salt Lake City. He's going to spend 2 periods with me in the studio for the NASHCAST. Keith Yandel, I believe, is going to come on the show. And he's also going to spend some time on the glass in Ryan Smith's suite. They're going to be talking hockey. They're going to be talking NASHCAST. Tusky and Biss, we know they're tight. Not sure if Jazz Bear is going to be involved in any of this, but we are going to have a ton of fun. One of the biggest personalities in our game, Paul Bissonnette. We need followers. He's going to be throwing some plugs out. We're going to have gift bags, giveaways, you name it. It's all going to be there for you fans. So follow along. Tell your friends. We need followers. We get to 5,000 followers, folks. I am going to be doing something crazy, like Paul Bissonnette crazy. So hope you guys enjoy it. I'm talking myself to death right now. I hope your ears aren't bleeding, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. We'll see you soon. Love you. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Thanks for following along. And stick with us. The best is yet to come.